Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Daniel. We are back again on the channel, and today I'm going to be talking about the word normal. This is a word that I feel like my position on has changed throughout my life. Originally, when you're growing up and stuff, being abnormal or being weird, I guess would be the better word, was kind of seen as like a bad thing, and I've kind of grown to understand that it's kind of the opposite. And in my opinion, normal is one of the worst insults you could be called. I think being weird is really what makes a person themselves, the things that make them stand out from the average person, if you get what I'm saying. And I think people are kind of scared to just openly like what they like, openly do what they do. That applies to both small things and like big details of their life. Like there are some people who like I'll use like a very basic example that's not very deep. Uh Growing up, I've always been a fan of the Pokemon games. I started playing them when I was like 5. And I've been playing them ever since. I haven't really ever had a bout where I wasn't playing them. And I was never gonna like not talk about that. If someone asks what game I'm playing, I'm gonna tell them that it's the newest Pokemon game. I don't care if I'm in high school. I don't care if somebody said, "Oh, that game's for kids." I don't give a fuck. Cause like, first of all, a lot of people nowadays kind of feel a similar way to I do, where like, who gives a shit? Like, why would I care what your answer is when I'm asking you what game are you playing right now? So a lot of people won't really feel a type of way about it. But also, like, if they did, why do you care if they feel a type of way? Like, if people would judge me for playing the types of games that I like, why do I care? But I also think that we've gotten to a point in just general culture, at least where I grew up, where people didn't really care and wouldn't really feel a certain type of way about those kinds of things. So I guess it was kind of like, I don't know, the opposite of a double-edged sword, a zero-edged sword. I don't really know. But on bigger scale things, like this can apply to sexuality for some people, of course. I think that's a big thing. That's not something that I haven't experienced with myself, of course, so I can't really speak on it, and I don't want to dwell on it too long because I don't want to try to explain an experience that I never really went through. But like, people being afraid for valid reasons to just be themselves in those types of ways and be different from like the status quo according to like what society tells us is the status quo growing up, I guess. And at the end of the day, it's really just fuck them. It's kind of a similar sentiment to what I was talking about a couple of videos ago, where the key message of this video is to just be yourself, but less so focusing on faking who you are and more so focusing on just really like embracing what makes you different. I think pride is underrated in a lot of aspects. There are definitely some cases where it's not the best thing to be overtly prideful about something, but in general about just like characteristics of yourself, things you like, things you do, who you are, being proud of those things is very underrated, I feel like, in modern society. And being normal is the complete opposite of that. I think a really good synonym for normal, in my mind, is unremarkable. And at the end of the day in life, why be unremarkable when you can be remarkable? Why fit the status quo of everything that you thought was normal growing up when you can deviate from that and be your own person? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense why people would want to be perceived as normal. Anytime someone calls me weird as an insult, even if it's as like a small joke, I often respond with better than being normal. I'd rather be called weird than be called normal pretty much any day. In most contexts, of course, there are definitely situations where that does not apply. But yeah, I just feel like why try to take away from your own uniqueness as an individual? Everybody's got their own shit going on. Why would you want to be just like one of the run-of-the-mill people out there? I like to think there's not very many people like that, but in reality, there probably are a lot of people like that. Like, I don't see myself as wanting to be the type of person who ends up with like a regular job working a 9 to 5 that is going to make my search for finances a lot harder after I graduate college. That's for certain. Trying to get into the games industry, also trying to get streaming and making videos to pop off, and also trying to make music. Obviously, very hard avenues to make money in, but that's how I want to live my life. I want to live my life doing interesting and cool and unique stuff. I don't want to do normal stuff. And I feel like not a lot of people carry themselves that way, and honestly, people can live their lives however they want. If you want to be normal, go ahead. I just like I don't get the appeal to normality in modern society. I guess I don't really think I have much else to add on in this in this conversation. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So this is gonna be a much shorter video than a lot of the other ones that I've been putting out, but this is just something that I hold really strongly. This is an opinion that I'm very adamant about that I don't think gets talked about very much. Is that like being normal is kind of lame. Like a lot of people just will equate weirdness to being like cringe about things. Like being super passionate about X, Y, or Z could be considered cringe. But in my mind, I think the ultimate cringe is just being normal. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Let me know if you have any interesting thoughts. Let me know if you're normal or if you want to be a remarkable person like I want to be. And yeah, if you have any problems or issues that you want me to talk about that relate to life in general or your personal life, you could email me at theonepantman@gmail.com. That'll be put in the description of this video. I'll also put it on screen right now. And I hope to talk to y'all again in the next one. Deuces.